I'm still pretty much on the job hunt, and as I'm going through and filling out my applications, it seems like the pool of job openings seem to be less and less. Maybe it's just me and my perspective, but that's what it seems like, at least this week, in terms of the job hunting. And I guess on the note of watching the news, supposedly another 600 some thousand people have lost their jobs as well. And then there's the issue of unemployment benefits being terminated for those who have been on it for close to a year or so now. So that's going to be another issue. And then while also scouring the news, came across one, at least on MSNBC, that was mentioning how some executives, at least the female counterparts, were going from jobless to topless. And there's a duality to that, in terms of it's somewhat interesting, and for some it might strike some humor in their funny bone, but at the same time it also shows the dire stress and state that we're in for our economy as well. That some of these white collar executive gals, going from being managers, senior level executives, to not being able to find something in their related field or similar, and then just starting applying to strip bars. And the news was mentioning how the gentlemen's clubs were having booms in the number of applicants, to like 50 a week to hundreds. And I don't know. I'm just not sure what to think or make of that anymore. And at the same time, more and more, it just seems there's like a lot of stupidity that's just going on with the world. And I just mean stupidity in the sense of a lot of ignorant people. You don't have to be a a graduate with any kind of BS, BA, MS, or PhD. Your IQ level doesn't need to be over 100, 110, 20, 30, or 40. Sometimes it just takes some common sense and some understanding to just assess the situation. And the stupidity and ignorance that I guess I'm referring to is the crowd of people out there who blindly, without any sort of research, at least a little bit, just a little bit of research to find out some facts of what's going on, and joining the crowd of people that's rallying with either the Democrats or Republicans. And it really doesn't matter at this point which side you're on, because everyone has their values and morals, and no one's asking anyone to compromise that. But at the same time, when you're shooting off on a cause that a politician that's spouting out, and you don't really have the facts, and you don't have the patience to really read up maybe a page or so on what that entails, and then you go shooting off your mouth, and just rallying and joining the people with the pitchforks and stuff and blaming people, it's, I don't know, it's kind of, it just starts to annoy the hell out of me for some reason. Maybe it's due to being out of a job for quite a few months now, and just my lack of my threshold for intolerance, stupidity, and ignorance out there has just dropped severely. And at the same time, I'm trying to hold on to what sanity I have left, and what mental capabilities to sort things out, to think in a rational manner. And each day it gets tougher and tougher by the moments. And I can say that probably a few weeks ago, it I was beginning to feel the effects of the depression, the confusion, the disparity of the millions of people who supposedly are in that state of almost giving up on finding a job. Not so much of the fact that it's looking for a job, but it's that hopelessness and despair of, as more and more jobs are being lost, and the more hours and the more applications that's being submitted in, the saturation of it all, there is a grim disparity to the reality of that. So, I guess on that note, I mean, this is already going into 8 minutes. So I guess for this session, that it has just been, I guess, a random rant on just a few things. So I guess I'll try to either have some more random stuff, or try to be more specific in the next video. So I'll see you then.